Good morning, everyone. I wanted to go, this is Rob Lukey with our Capital Group. I wanted to go over real quick with you why it takes as much time as it does. And remember, at our Capital Group, you can get involved inside investing in real estate without having to do it as a full-time job, which it is. And I'll point out a couple things to you of why I say this is a full-time endeavor, and it takes a team of people to do it appropriately. Uh, First of all, let's just take a look at last week's auction in Washington. This is in Seattle's auction for Friday. We did buy something. There was an auction on Monday, and we were able to buy a property in Seattle. I'll point it out to you. It was actually this property here, and you can see this will happen with you when you buy a property and you're a partner with us on a property. You might see, hey, 10% allocated. That means you're a 10% owner in that particular property. In this situation, we're a 50% owner in this property with somebody else. But this is the property that we purchased. We purchased for $293,000. We have it valued at $355,000. We already have it listed and have an exit strategy with the owner. And looks actually like a very clean. The house actually is 3,400 square feet, 5 bedrooms, built in 2002. A lot of house, obviously. You couldn't actually build this house for the price that we purchased it at. But getting back to the search for 12.2, what I wanted to point out to you is that here's the opening bids. But if you were to go off and take this off, you start out with 369 properties. If we then look at properties that have opening bids, there's still 236 properties that you have to go through and evaluate to see that if they're worthwhile. If you click on only hot properties, these are properties that were our targets for auction for Friday, last week's auction in Washington. And we actually didn't buy anything in that auction, and I'll explain to you why. If you look at these properties, you'll see that, for example, this property had a $199,000 opening bid. We had it valued at $300,000. It's a $100,000 spread. It actually was bid up to $283,600. And you can always go back on the software and view what properties were sold at and so forth. This one in Mukilteo, opening bid was $192,000. We had it valued at $230,000. Pretty tight, but still reasonable. 10% pop. Somebody paid up to $217,000. On our Linwood target, we had valued at $310,000. Opening bid $232,000. It went as high as $272,000. We could have you still could have made some, a 10% move on that. And if you look at it, we have the estimated rehab, what it's going to take, we think, and obviously the selling expense. That selling expense in the state of Washington includes the excise tax that occurs in the state of Washington. It doesn't occur in California. And remember, if you're inside the OCG LLC, the nice thing about the OCG LLC is there is a tax. There's an LLC tax that takes place in California, but we actually pay for that as well. So we're giving, and we take a portion of the profits. Here's this one in Everett. This property, $185,000 was the opening bid. We had it valued at $265,000. Someone paid $247,000. When we value our properties, we're valuing them to get an idea of a sell price within a 3 to 4 month period. That's after we take possession of the property. This particular property, we had it valued at $260,000. Purchase price was $225,000. Opening bid was $215,000. It was already pending at $269,000. That was a pretty good. That was still a pretty good property, but we were bidding on other properties at the time, and just FYI, and we didn't have I think our max bid on that at that point was up to $221,000. There's other properties coming behind that we were interested in. This particular property, $265,000 was the purchase price. Opening bid was $226,000. $290,000 was what we had it valued at. The point being to you is that there's our values we believe that are right. Now, what happens? The question is what happens to those people that bought them? Maybe they lose money on them. Maybe they break even. We're not in the market just to break even for us or our clients. Or maybe it was an end user that potentially wants into the property. Point is that you also want to think about expanding into other markets. With our Capital Group, not only can you buy in Seattle, but you can buy in Orange County as well. Hope you have a good day.